I must say, based on what you've said, I was going to ask you: is there a reason why you've chosen to build in like a quite luxury space as compared to going down, reaching tremendous scale? But that's not who you are. You're the person who wants to build something and just build something that's so spectacular, not just for others but for yourself. And just coming back to the topic of this estate, where did the name come from?
Again, because one of my favorite flowers is Frangipani, which we call as champa, as we call plumeria, the scientific name. So Frangipani is the colloquial name. And one of my favorite trees, a tree that has growing in our gardens as kids when we were growing up, there were so many Frangipani trees. So, I resonate with the flowers. Every day I remember when it would be very breezy. As kids, we would go running around, and I would, while others were playing cricket, I would go running around picking up frangipani flowers. And then I would just play with them or make some design out of it. So for me, those are small memories of childhood that have lived with me, and I want them to live till the end with me. So these are ways that I connect my memories, that I bring them into my passion, things that I have kept in my childhood memory and that builds on.
So was that the idea behind this project?
Yeah, I grew up in large spaces to begin with. Probably down the line, somewhere deep down, that's been as a part of my DNA. And I have obviously understood as a child that space is luxury. Was whatever we can talk price tag, or you talk brand as luxury, or you talk location as luxury. I think that story is undergoing a major demographic change where more and more people are relating and resonating with the philosophy that A, space is luxury, B, nature is ultra luxury. Because today, how many people want to stay connected to nature in some form or the other? Today, all of us look at it on a daily basis, want to go and take a holiday in the hills, go to a beach, go to the mountains. What exactly are you paying for? You're paying to get closer to nature. All of us are in the race to pay any kind of money to stay connected with nature. So, why not on a day to day basis? Why only on holidays for a 10-day, 15-day, or a month of holiday that you can afford? Why can't you afford a daily life that feels like holiday to you? That's pretty much my philosophy. Why does every day on a other than your holiday has to be like a day that you wake up on a gunpoint and you sleep on a gunpoint, knowing that tomorrow morning again you have to wake up at that gunpoint? I strongly believe that let your life, if you've arrived, if you've reached there, if you understand the nuances of life, you will relate that let each day of your life be the feeling of a holiday, a sense of self satisfaction, a sense of self belief, slow life. I mean, we can quiet luxury, you can term it whatever you want, but the bottom line remains that you want to be every day living it, not exit. Like we as a group have a tagline that was coined by me because I was using this sentence over years many times. And then that some people said, Sir, can we put this as why exist when you can live? That is what our philosophy is, and that is what our tagline is. So if that kind of gives you a sense, there is that fine line that you draw between existing and living. I believe whoever can afford, again, it is not about financial affordability. Please remember, there are a lot of people today on earth who can afford money. What you can't afford is time. For me, time is money. The time you give to your family, the time you give to yourself, the time you give to your health, the time you give to this nature around you. If you can afford to do that, you are in the true fashion
Wealthy.
wealthy. Absolutely. Because you have a huge bank balance. Are you wealthy? I'm sorry, I beg to differ. My definition of wealthy is that if I am able to play with my grandchildren on my own without any help at the age of 70, 80, I would consider myself seriously wealthy. And I'm working towards it. What will my bank balance do at that stage if I'm not able to play with my grandchildren and I'm in bed?
Nothing.
Small example.
When did you get the idea to start? Like, when did you get the idea to start this? And can you walk us through the journey of building this entire project?
Oh, that was a tricky one because when I came up with this idea, basically the idea was again to create a community where we can, where nature will dominate all of us. And there is nothing that we will do will overtake or overpower nature. So first and foremost, we managed to achieve that. And I remember going back in the initial days when I went to my architect and I told him this is my plan and this is my, he actually had a blank look on his face. Then very sheepishly and politely, knowing that I'm a client and he might offend me, sir, actually, if you don't mind, can I say something? I said, please go ahead. And he said, sir, I think your requirements are a little unfeasible because the scales are too large and this is not how we develop communities. Allow me to. And at that stage, I had to tell him that was I have come with a premeditated thought and I would kind of like to stick with it. I mean, small example, we've created a 2-acre park where minimum estate sizes are 20,000 going up to 45,000 square feet an estate. Logical question by my architect that, sir, why do you need a park 2 acres, that much area? You can, I will give you saleable space. I will cut more estates and give you. I said, that's not the idea. The idea is that I want just a very limited edition number of families where there is large spaces, just nature. The eco balance is created. I told him I want a 2-acre lake. He was stoned. He didn't know how to react.